And hello, welcome to Gray Skeptic. But we are not doing a Gray Skeptic stream tonight. We're here for the first episode of League of Extraordinary Atheists for Humanism. Leah, or are we? Are we on, Christy? We're not on. We're not on, Christy. We're not on.
But I did just get an alert that you went live.
Oh, okay.
Live yet. Let's ask, can anybody hear us?
Yeah, can anyone hear us? Is anyone out there? Okay. Take it.
Yeah, we are live. Yay!
I think there is, because I think I just heard myself do that. All right, they're saying we are live. Cool. Great. Live chat. Here's the link. If you would be amazing and share that link on Twitter and Facebook, because we haven't had time to yet. I'll edit this out later. Yeah, I'll share it. I'll give you the proper link, which you probably already have, but I'm giving it to you anyways. And share on Twitter, and then we'll start talking like we mean it.
Yay! Okay, and that's what I'm doing right now. It's good old Twitter. Well, at least you know exactly how to do a hangout. We will get much better.
Yes.
You will get much better. Yay!
There you go. There. Sorry, everyone. I hate sharing links out during the live stream. We've just we've had so many problems. I don't want to end it and come back in.
Right? No, I get it.
No. So I'm going to go to our Facebook page real quick and share it out here. And stop watching me lip everything. There. All right. That's the oops. Enter just one. And there's the post button. I had to scroll down for it. Okay. I think I have shared it as much as I can share it. Again, hi everyone. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the goofs. Sorry to anyone who saw any streams that looked really weird today. Because we were having technical difficulties. But the important thing is that you are here and we are here. And Christy Santiago has put together some wonderful, wonderful information to share with us. But first, what is this? What is this? This is the first episode of League of Extraordinary Atheists for Humanism, without the in the middle. And it's a new podcast that Christy and I are starting, where we're changing the focus in the community, or we're hoping to a little bit, because we mostly focus on just like theist versus atheist kind of discussions. And we kind of want to start this outlet for people in the community to start putting some focus on like real world issues, like whether it be politics or just current events or past events. Most of us in the community are humanist, hence atheists for humanism. But so we kind of want to bring information to you, the viewer, people in the community, about just things that are going on right now. Things that Christy looks into, things that I look into, and we really want to try to community build a little bit and try to come up with problems for solutions. No, um, but but yeah, we want to try to come up with solutions for the issues that we have in this world that affect us and affect those around us. So we're going to cover topics like global warming, cover topics like Israel and Palestine. And one thing that we're covering tonight, our main topic, is going to be the Dakota Access Pipeline, which has just been a shit show for like the last 2 years. So without going any further, I will let Christy finally say hi and say anything you'd like to, and then I'll move on to our current events as we planned to a week ago.
Okay, you guys, excuse us, but the last hour or so, for Mac, it's been much longer than the last hour or so. Been struggling with a whole new system, and I'm giggly, and so we're laughing and frustrated at the same time, but it was all good. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see the whole new look next week. Mm-hmm. He has created an amazing logo for us, and it does look pretty badass. I'm kind of sad we couldn't use it, but we needed to just go live before we laughed ourselves to death. And I'm very excited to be a part of this LEAH and everything that he just said times a million. I'm excited to be able to talk about the things that I am super passionate about. People, humans, life, the planet we live on, and everything else that we know to be real life and reality, and the things that we can do, even if it's little, to help those things, especially in our own community. And that's pretty much all I have for tonight. For that, for my introduction.
Okay, cool.
I'm never
cool.
done.
I want to make sure I can name this. And all right. Sorry, I had to check a thing because I just now pulled up the live chat. But yeah, I am sorry you guys didn't get to see our new cool setup because because it is pretty cool. But I might be able to show you guys. We'll definitely go for it next time. We're gonna do this every 2 weeks, just so everyone knows.
Oh yeah.
But we'll fix everything up then. So first thing that I kind of want to just bring to everyone's attention, and I don't know the latest update because I've been using my my kind of study time to try to put the stream together today. But we have an issue at our American border right now. If you haven't heard about that caravan that everyone's heard about, which has, what is it, 7,000 people right now, Christy, or something around there?
That's the highest number we have. Yes.
Yeah. So there, and I think they just started actually kind of showing up at the border recently. And the issue right now that I'm hearing is just as of yesterday, because we should like cause more problems on Thanksgiving, Mr. President, is that I saw he gave our troops the okay to use lethal force if necessary. And I'm just like, wait, what? But he also added, but we hope that they don't have to do that. I hope we don't have to do that. I'm just like, okay, what? Because like we're not going to. Sorry, Christy. Because like we shouldn't even really just put that on the forefront of our minds that like if anyone kind of falls out of line, use lethal force, right? Because when he says things like this, I know it really speaks to his base, but anyone who kind of values human life more than most things would be offended at this, at this thought. So that's one thing that I thought I would mention because I just saw that last night that he said that he's given he's given our troops the okay to use lethal force if necessary, if they deem necessary. But who knows what that means? Because a lot of these troops come from different worldviews, and like they're people just like us, right? So sometimes we can't discern the best way to deal with the situation. But
Yeah. He said that if
yeah.
they threw rocks, it would be okay to shoot them.
Yeah, and that not to switch the topic completely, but that sounds a lot like what's going on in Israel with Palestine. They throw rocks, they open fire, kidnap kids, whatever they want to do, and it's absolutely insane. The one main point of this show is to let people know that this stuff is happening, and it's really scary. But also, the only way to change it is to know about it and kind of pass that along. We have a really good skeptic base here. We have so many smart people who can apply themselves, and a lot of times you can't talk about um, theist atheist discussions with the people around you, but you can talk about politics. It's another shitty thing people don't want to talk about, but it's easier to talk about, I think, than religion. And if you can apply these humanist values, which I'll get into soon, I think it really gives us the moral high ground in other aspects of discussion. We can really kind of make a name for ourselves, I guess you could say. We can really start not acting like those communists, like all the other atheists. We're not all Hitlers. Who wasn't an atheist. But anyways, I digress, and I'm mostly going to comment on what Christy has to say because she has shit to lay out. So I'm just going to try to apply thoughts and reason to the situations that she is presenting. So, Christy, take it away.
Yay, I did 2 short topics for this week because they're put so many into each show for hours and hours and hours every day. So I limited it to the 2 pipelines that are of topic right now. Pipeline, we have the XL pipeline and DAPL. So those are the 2 that I'm talking about. Pipeline opponents make gains in midterm as federal judge halts Keystone XL pipeline on November 13th, 2018. A U.S. District Court in Montana in the first week of November ordered a halt to all work on the Keystone XL pipeline, the fossil fuel project that has inspired a revival of direct action protest tactics across the U.S. The decision came at the end of an election week in which Democrats took control of the U.S. House of Representatives, promising in the short term to hold climate hearings and in the long term to work towards a Green New Deal. Meanwhile, pipeline opponents made electoral gains of their very own local races in South Dakota and Nebraska, 2 key states in this fight. The Keystone XL ruling represented a concrete blow to the fossil fuel industry driving this crisis. The effort to stop this pipeline has become a touchstone for the U.S. environmental movement. The trailblazing climate scientist, James Henson, famously called potential for completion of this project and the full exploitation of tar sands game over for climate. TransCanada's Keystone XL pipeline would pump 830,000 oil from Alberta, Canada, to a transfer point in Nebraska. Increasing pipeline capacity, which decreases transportation cost, is key to assuring that oil, which is expensive to produce, remains commercially viable. When the State Department originally studied the project in 2014, crude oil sold for nearly 100 per barrel. Today it sells for around 60. The sludgy tar sands oil is a high carbon emitting variety that has proven difficult to clean up when it spills into our waterways. The court decision declared illegal one of Trump's first executive orders, issued days after his inauguration, as a signal to fossil fuel opponents and the oil industry that America was moving full speed ahead on oil and gas extractions. That executive order reopened a fast react the permit process for Key XL, which Obama had denied and ended more than a year before. Obama had argued that this pipeline would undermine the U.S.'s international leadership in addressing the climate crisis. In his decision, Judge Brian Morris emphasized that Trump simply prior factual findings related to climate change to support its course reversal, end quote. He added, quote, an agency cannot simply disregard contrary or inconvenient factual determinations that it made in the past, end quote. In response, our president told reporters, quote, it was a political decision made by a judge. I think it's a disgrace, end quote. He speculated that the case would go to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And then he says, quote, we're slowly putting new judges in the Ninth Circuit, he said. And that's pretty much all I could do to update. I mean, if you guys are informed or you read the paper or you watch the news, that's the newest thing we have on Keystone XL as far as where it's going. And I also there's exciting stuff going on with the DAPL protest, even though they want to have Washington, D.C., November 1st, 2018, a new chapter opened in the legal fight against the Dakota Access Pipeline. The Standing Rock Sioux Tribe renewed their lawsuit against the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, challenging its recent completed reviews of the pipeline's impacts. The tribal lawyers and Earth Justice Today filed a supplemental complaint in its existing case. Overseen by U.S. District Judge Jeb, I think it's Boasberg, in Washington, D.C. The Corps has conducted a sham process to arrive at a sham conclusion for the second time, said Mike Faith, chairman of Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. The tribe tried to work in good faith with the Corps to get an honest assessment of the risks and impacts of installing this pipeline at the doorstep of their reservation, said Jen Hasselman, lead attorney for the tribe in the lawsuit. The Corps simply wasn't interested. We will see them in court, he said. In June 2017, Judge Boasberg ruled in favor of the Sioux Tribe on the pipeline's environmental review, finding that the Corps had failed to adequately consider the impacts of the pipeline on a number of values for the tribes that were all the tribes were. The court declined to shut down the pipeline at that time. It imposed a series of measures intended to ensure that safe operations of the pipeline during this remand period. So during the remand period process, the Corps withheld critical technical information from the tribe, making it challenging for the tribe to offer detailed technical comments on the Corps' flawed analysis. The Corps ignored the extensive body of technical material prepared by the tribe, showing that the risks of Apple, which is managed by companies with the worst safety and compliance record in the nation, are much higher than previously disclosed. The Army Corps of Engineers recently released the review of its original decision to grant permits to the Dakota Access Pipeline. The review concludes that the Corps' original decisions were appropriate and lawful. The new complaint challenging that review kicks off a second round of litigation before Judge Boasberg that should take around 6 to 9 months from now, today, to resolve. We will be watching this and we will report all the new findings, stories, and outcomes. That's exciting, I think. But I'm on the Sioux side.
Right.
So. Right. There's that.
So I kind of want to go through and like recap that a little bit and just like discuss it. So also I'm going to keep the screen on both of us, so either of us talk. I'm sorry for people who just want to look at Christy. I know, I get it. But I got some complaints. So number one, where they're building this pipeline, it's a sovereign nation.
Yes.
It's illegal for them to just go through by international law, right? not just like our own treaties that we're breaking, but like international law.
Well, I know that with the Keystone XL pipeline right now, our country is using eminent domain laws to take land from people in Nebraska for the Canadian XL pipeline, for a Canada-based corporation's pipeline. Eminent domain. I don't know if you guys laws. I had to look them up to understand. It means the government can just take it, and they have to offer you. They don't have to pay you much. They just have to offer you the lowest common number they can find in that area, and you have to either take it or take them to court.
Right.
Those are the rules. I'm sure it's much more nuanced than that, and lots of people are fighting it. But how do you? It's not eminent domain. It's for. I said I love Canada. I love. Don't think that it's the Canadians doing this. It's a oil company that it's based in. I wouldn't want oil companies going into other. Not okay with it happening here. I'm not okay with it happening to anyone ever. Like, let's do it fair.
Yeah. You are roboting really bad, Christy. Just so you know. I don't know if there's any. Yeah.
They're using eminent domain.
Eminent domain. Okay. I'm not sure if everyone heard that super duper well. Yeah, we're losing Christy. It's a little bit back and forth.
Is that better?
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, you're still cutting out just a little bit. But if I can get my thoughts back under my head. Yeah, it's one point that I really want to touch on there is you said that it's not just like Canada doing this, and it's not just America doing this. It is the oil companies.
Yes. Yeah, corporations are doing this.
Right, and currently, I don't know what the lawsuit is called right now, but I think the water protectors they're trying to sue the Dakota Access Pipeline right now.
Yeah, that's the second one. Yes.
Yeah, and part of that is because not only what they did with the pipeline is illegal and like on their land and like on like sacred ground and shit, but also they hired mercenaries. Like they hired like not legitimate policemen to like go and like kind of secure the area. And what all did they do? Yeah. They used attack dogs. They used hoses, like fireman hoses, and like blew the skin off of some people in like 0-degree weather, like down to the bone. Like they did some pretty like nasty shit to the protesters, and sometimes they just went ahead. Like at one point, they went 25 miles ahead of where they were working on construction because they knew that there was something put in, like there was I don't know all the words. There was like some kind of notice put in that they were going to get to a specific ground, a burial ground, where they were going in the path, and they sent that into the courts to try to put a stop to it before they got there. And as soon as it like got into the office, the next day they went 25 miles ahead and just went ahead and dug that the fuck up. So it didn't matter if they got stopped because they just done it. So it was really it was pretty darn shady, and it was all the way shitty. And they pulled a lot of those stunts. And whenever they had a chance where there weren't protesters or people just watching the area, they would go ahead and start to cut down trees, or they'd go ahead and start digging without the okay a lot of times. A lot of times.
Yeah. There are stories right now I told you about, and I'm sure a few people that are here had heard Thursday night on Wonder Lady's channel that there are the Sioux Tribe, all newspapers are just in such a vibrant life, and they're available for anybody. But so many are down on their luck that live on the reservation, that own a lot of property, their family owns a lot of property, that are getting bribed by these corporations with just $100,000 to give up their rights to their land. They'll still keep it, but the pipe will go through their land. And a lot of them fall for it because they're so poor. And to me, that is that enrages me, to take advantage of people like that.
It is. It's really sad and disgusting the way that they went about it. And at one point, they even, I don't remember the city. I could probably look it up on a map, but the pipeline was actually going to go through a different city at one point, and citizens complained about it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, let's just go through a sovereign nation instead." Like, white people didn't want it. They're like, "Ah, shit, white people don't want it." So
The
they
middle
kinda,
class citizen, and they had the whole pipeline as it should be. People shouldn't have to have a pipeline through their land
yeah,
if they don't want one.
right, right. Because there was when I was in high school, I learned that people were really freaking out about the pipeline that they put up in Alaska. And I don't know much about that one at
Yeah.
all, but they were worried that it was going to really harm all the nature around it and whatever. And I don't really know the outcome specifically of it, but I do know that after they ended up putting the pipeline in, well, the are warm, and like the deer would kind of gather around it and stuff, and it would, well, they multiplied more because they found like a heat source, which was kind of cool up in Alaska. So like it actually kind of helped some of the nature up there because there was a heat source there. But one, you don't really need that in Dakota, and two, like there are treaties in place. Like this absolutely was illegal, and there were there were definitely some human rights um,
Abuses.
abused. Yeah, absolutely abused. And it was really the whole thing was really disgusting. And they're trying to expand the pipeline now. So, and it's really hard to actually find any information on this because this isn't something that the mainstream
Nope.
media is covering. Because a lot of the mainstream media it really is just it's kind of commercialized. It's owned by bigger companies.
Yep.
So
Oil companies.
yeah, a lot of the oil companies, just like the politicians are, and I don't want to sound very conspiracy like,
Right.
but it's really obvious to see. Like you kind of know this without being told it. Like
Right.
politicians are kind of owned by companies. We don't live in a
A
democracy.
politician should have to wear a suit with the name tag of every company that sponsors them, like a race car driver.
Yeah,
So we can know is paying for you, so I know who you're going to listen to, and I cannot vote for you.
right. Yeah, that would be really nice. There's one politician from Kentucky right now who's saying that cops have to wear body cams.
Ojeda.
Mhm. Yeah, Ojeda. Ojeda
Oh
is.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and politicians just have to wear body cams so we can see.
lobbyists should have to wear.
Lobbyists. Okay, so we can see who they're talking to and who they're buying.
Yep.
And I think that's a great idea. And I don't think it'll ever come to that, but we really need to be more aware of what's going on in politics and like our local government and the bigger government, because all of these decisions are made by our representatives, and a lot of cases
Yeah.
where these companies are breaking the law are just things get overlooked because they know that that's where the money's coming from, and that's really all there is to it. So if we want to make a change, we need to educate ourselves, and we need to want to do something about it. We need to spread that knowledge, and we need to vote correctly. We need to vote for people who are not going to kind of sell us out. Because as I was just saying, this is becoming less of a democracy. Our country is, and more of an oligarchy, more of just like a corporate America kind of thing. So.
Yeah, it is. Citizens United, we can thank for that. Corporations are people and money is free speech. Yay! Constitution.
Right. Right.
Oh, so sick. It's so sick.
It really is. It really is sick. And it's a deep, long, dark rabbit hole that we're going to dig ourselves into, but not right now, not and not tonight. But there will be a common theme of kind of like, I don't want to say big government because it's not awareness. That's what it is. And Christy is fantastic.
Yes, being informed. And talking about the information that we find and making sure that we all hold each other accountable and informed about these huge things that are going on correctly. We know who is doing what, who is voting what, who's making decisions, who we can stand behind because we know that they're a fair player. Those are huge things that we could do as regular citizens to help the people that are, running for governor, running for city council, to know who these people are. It takes a little bit more time to read about them, to try to meet them. Most of them will talk to you if you write them an email. They will send you something back. You can get on mailing lists. I mean, there's so many little things that are time consuming, but being informed is how we're going to get out of what a certain 20% of this country has helped us get into, taking massive amounts of tax money and putting them in people's hands that don't need them is not something that by and abide, and we can't change anything that big without changing where we are right now.
Right. And I really feel like we as a community, this community of YouTubers and viewers, we're really on the right side of this. Because what we really try to push for is education. And no, Godless Iowans, I did not get a new camera, but thank you.
I know. Quite beautiful.
Hi, Iowans. Thank you.
Iowans,
I got the soft
Mr.
face. But what I was saying is that we're on the right side of the game for all of these topics that we're covering. Like, we're already in a place to combat this because we push for better education. We push for critical thinking. And any of these stories that we share with you, we ask you to, hey, go check it out for yourself. Educate yourself. Find out where we're wrong. Because what we're going to do our best to do is give you the facts, as Christy just did, and then talk about them. We're going to give you the facts and our opinions separately of the facts instead of like watching like fucking Fox News or even CNN when they fucking Fox News. But it's
no propaganda.
Yeah, no propaganda. We'll give you our opinions, and we're going to try to come about it in such a way that we're going to try to project like humanism or humanist efforts to fix the problems. And a big cornerstone of humanism since it began is education. To educate yourself and treat people with empathy and try to use like logic. Like, don't fucking pray about it. And make educated decisions. Think, right? So that's what we want to try to project in this show, which will be a podcast. I want to say podcast, but we're not being a podcast right now. But yeah, we will be expanding to a podcast and maybe other platforms. But for now, this is where we're at. If you want to say a thing or two real quick, Christy, then I can show everyone what our setup was going to be. Just give everyone.
Yes, I'm very excited about the future of this and being a part of it. It's exciting. I'm very passionate. I think the world needs more humanism from every angle, for every person, every human. The whole planet needs more humanism. So adding our 2 cents on it can't hurt, because all we want to do is help.
True that. So I'm going to screen share with you guys for just a second. Screen share. Entire screen. So if you guys can see.
Woo-wee.
Freaking out a little bit. Boom.
Yeah, it's going to look so dope.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's our layout made by my wife. She did a fantastic job.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
look at how cute. Oh, I love the stars in the sky.
Yeah, I dig it. I like that.
Or stardust.
So that's what the layout's going to look like. I'm sorry, guys, that didn't get to see it tonight, but we will fix it. Also, another shout out to Nadine. She helped me for hours, and I still couldn't get it to go at the last minute. So since I have to work tonight, and we were running out of time, we had to kind of actually give up a little bit and just go through Hangouts. But
yes, if you have to pray to anybody, pray to Nadine.
Yeah, pray to Nadine. Send her flowers.
Yes, all the flowers.
If you know her address, send it to me. We'll all get her flowers. But yeah, so that's what's coming. That's pretty much tonight's show. Do we have anything else? I got the hiccups. Do you have anything else to cover?
One silly night. Just one thing after another. Whatever, you're a good sport. I'm glad, because I'm easy that way. I'm like, yeah, well, it didn't work, so let's just do it.
Yes. Thank you for being so patient tonight, Christy. You've been wonderful.
Oh.
Does anyone have any questions for us in the live chat before we wrap up?
Nothing about butt stuff, Iowans.
And now you've just invited the butt stuff conversation. Way to go, Christy. While I'm waiting for questions, if we get any, I'm going to share a few things you should expect from the show. A better layout. A better layout. A more regular schedule. We haven't picked the day that we're specifically going to do this all the time, but we will. But our goal is that by New Year, this will be a regular show, and hopefully everyone enjoys it by then. And we will be having a separate YouTube channel for L.E.A.H. So when I get that set up, I'll let you guys know, and you guys can all subscribe there because you're awesome, and why wouldn't you? But we will have the layout of the show will basically be, hi, how you doing? Here's some current events. This is why those suck. This is what we can do about it. Here's our main topic that Christy will almost always take care of because she's brilliant and amazing, and she does more research than humanly possible somehow. I think she's a robot. And then we'll always ask you guys for questions and comments. And we would like to, at least once a month, do a little segment called redactions and rebuttals. So if you guys find anything that we were wrong on, we want you guys to be well informed. So let us know. And if you're wrong about what we're wrong on, we'll tell you. Tell you to fuck off and check again.
We're going to have so much fun on this channel. You guys don't even know. We're going to learn stuff. We're going to be current with our events. And we're going to do it together. I'm excited.
Yeah. And we would like other content creators from the community to come on the show every now and then and also give your opinions. Like, tell us your epistemology, tell us your worldviews, and tell us how it applies to solving the problems that we present. Because that's pretty much what the show is about, is trying to apply our philosophies to these problems instead of just what we usually do, which is great, which is what we need people to combat religion as we do. Yes. But there's other things we can do as well. And hopefully this can be an outlet for everyone in the community to do so.
Yay.
Cool. So, all right. I think that's our show. Chrissy, if you'd like to throw in anything and also plug your show on Wonder Leaders channel.
Yes, every Thursday evening, 7:30 Eastern, I put together something that I'm passionate about, which could be anything. That's the best thing in the whole world. That's my favorite part about doing it, because I could hear a story or be reading the newspaper and something will hit me. I have to find out more about this. And it's up to me to write about it. So it's something that I'm very passionate about. And I just adore Faye for letting me be able to use her channel to spread awareness about topics that I'm passionate about. And then Leah is going to be even more of that I get to share the research work with, which is something new. So that's going to be fun. He can do these two, I can do those two. And we have a certain like brother-sister chemistry going. So that's just awesome. That's just awesome. I think that we're going to have a lot of fun together. And we're going to hopefully make a difference in even just our community's life. That would be a big goal for me, just to make a difference in the people that we know. And if it reaches further than that, well, then that's just lollipops for me. It's so good.
Fucking love lollipops.
Lollipops.
Lollipop. I think that's going to have to be our new theme song. Oh, lolly, lolly, lolly. All right. Demonetized. As if I'll ever get monetized. Thank you guys for watching. That is our show. We love you guys. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Goodbye.